Hi guys, welcome to Crazy Burger. So it's going to be a little bit of a gap or a bit of a lull till the next releases on Evercade, so I thought it was time to actually go back and revisit some of the older games that I never really got a chance to play in full, or maybe gave up because there was too many things happening at the one time, too many releases. So now is the time to go back and visit some of those old games on Evercade, and I'm going to do a few parts to this sort of video series. This is part 1, so without further ado, let's get started and let's look at the games I'm going to revisit on Evercade. So first game up is Crystal Mines 2 Buried Treasure. This is from Atari Lynx Collection 1 that was released all the way back in 2021. I think it was around about April time of that year. And there was 2 Atari Lynx collections released at that time. I would obviously love to see another Atari Lynx collection. There's a lot of really cool games on there. I'm pretty sure we might even see 1 or 2 at some point soon. But anyway, this game is a lot of fun. It's a little bit, I guess, like Boulder Dash in a way, but you're trying to really collect all the gems on the level and obviously avoid all the enemies and then get to the exit when it appears. It's very addictive. There's a ton of levels in this game. It probably surprised you how many they are. I'm pretty sure there was hundreds of levels the last time I looked. And I did play this for quite some time when it was released, but I think I got stuck, and it's one of those games I definitely need to revisit. So sticking with Atari Lynx, this is from Atari Lynx Collection 2, it's Chips Challenge, and it's probably even a similar-ish style game where you're collecting all the computer chips and getting to the exit. Sounds very simple, but there's a lot of obstacles that get in your way, and probably the worst thing about the game is that time limit. I think the game probably could be better without having that sort of stressful time limit added, because some of the levels almost seem impossible to complete within that time, but it's a very addictive game. I absolutely loved it. I remember playing it all the way back on the C64 and loving that version as well, and this Atari Lynx version arguably could be the best of the lot. It really is that good, and it's one of those games that I really need to go back, revisit it, have a little bit more patience and try and chip my way through the levels. Yep, that pun was entirely intended. So next up, it's all the way back to Indie Heroes Collection 1 and Twin Dragons. Now, I played pretty much every single game on that collection, and obviously I did play this one, but it's one of the games I didn't play enough of. I just ran out of time, and I think more carts got released, and it's one of those games I put on the back burner, and it's probably a shame. I know a lot of people have raved about it, saying it's really good, and I probably only got maybe 2 or 3 levels deep into the game. It's one of those games I keep meaning to go back and revisit it, because if you can see with the footage here, it looks fantastic. I really must play this a lot more. I'm going to definitely revisit this one. So also a game I'm going to go back to is Cannon Fodder. This is from the Codemaster Collection 1. Sadly it's now a legacy cart, but the Codemaster cart is pretty good. It probably has 2 standout games, not necessarily Codemaster's original games, right enough. That was Sensible Soccer and Cannon Fodder. Not going to be looking at Sensible Soccer too much, I played that way too much back in the Mega Drive, but I definitely want to revisit Cannon Fodder. It's one of those games I played a lot on the Mega Drive but didn't make the greatest of progress because it is pretty tricky. But on the Evercade we obviously have those save states, and we should be able to make progress in some of these games that you probably could only dream about back on the original hardware that they were released on. It's a really cool, addictive game, and it's definitely one of those games I'm going to try and spend a lot more time with. So next up is Thunderhoop 2 from Gatel Co Collection 2. Now this might seem as a strange addition, and maybe it is, but there's a reason why I want to go back to playing this game. I really enjoyed it at the time, but I think there was a save state issue with this game when it was first released, and it kind of put me off wanting to sort of play through it. I think it had some sort of corruption when you were playing through it. especially going back, loading in a save state, it would probably be a little bit corrupt and you couldn't actually make progress with the game. That has now since been fixed, but I've never really returned to the game. But there's no doubt about it, it is a really, really cool game and technically quite impressive that it is actually running on the Evercade. And one of those games I really need to go back to and maybe just plough through and play it in one sitting, just in case we do get more issues with save states. But no doubt about it, really cool game. Definitely better than the first Thunderhoop game. Probably not quite as frustrating, but still it is very challenging. It is an arcade game. You're going to have to insert lots and lots of credits to make progress, but still a very, very cool game worth revisiting. So next up, it's going to be Jumpman. This is from C64 Collection 1, and I really enjoyed playing this game, and sadly it's one of those games I never really went back to playing. I probably played more of Lee and maybe Mission Impossible, or Impossible Mission, sorry, from this collection. I think at times, sometimes I know we complain about wanting more releases, but sometimes when there's maybe 2 carts released at once and there's maybe another cart, it's a little bit more interesting and you put more time into that, and then before you know it, a month or 2 has passed and then the next collections come out. And that's probably where this one actually lies for me. I really need to revisit some of these games that I just didn't get a chance to go back to. I know we obviously moan quite a lot, we need more games, we need more collections released in a year, but realistically there's not enough time sometimes to play a lot of the games that we do get, and this is definitely one I need to go back and play through even more. So next up, it's Cathedral. This is one of those games I got very, very frustrated with. I did make some decent progress with it and ploughed a lot of hours into the actual game, but it's one of those games I really wish there was save states. It is natively running on the Evercade, so there's only the checkpoints that you can use as save states throughout the actual game. And yeah, it does cause a little bit of frustrating. There's a lot of sort of bosses that are quite tricky to get past. There's a lot of enemies as well that really frustrate and get in your way, and if you die you get sent all the way back to various checkpoints. But yeah, it's one of those games I need to have a little bit more patience with and try and spend a little bit more time with and make more progress throughout the game, because there's a lot of hours to be had from this game. It really is decent. So without doubt, Flashback is one of those games I really want to go back and experience more of. I was making some really great progress on the Evercade version thanks to those save states, and actually got much further than I ever did on the Mega Drive original. I don't even remember getting off the first world on the actual Mega Drive, but with those save states I've been able to make progress I could probably only have dreamt about and experience even more of this great game. It really is a classic of its time. Absolutely brilliant. It is a little bit rough around the edges with the controls now, but I still enjoyed playing it. I enjoyed trying to experience some of the things I never got to back in the Mega Drive. Hopefully maybe one time I'll even get to finish it. I know it does get a little bit tricky in the later levels, but I'm absolutely loving experiencing more of it thanks to Evercade. Okay guys, so thanks very much for watching our video. There will be a few more parts to this because there's a lot of games on Evercade that I probably haven't put as much time into them as I would have liked for various different reasons, I guess. Now let me know guys, what games are you going to be playing more of? Which games are you going to revisit while we're waiting on the next cart releases, which will be the 10th of March with Broken Sword Collection and Indie Heroes Collection 4. As ever guys, thanks very much for watching and we'll catch you again in the next one. Bye for now.